9 pounds of tiny apples used 3 different times. That's using the same apples for 3 different things. We made 3 quarts of juice. We had 3 pints of applesauce. We already ate one. 8.5 pints of jelly, all from the same apples, 3 different processes, using them, not dividing them up into different sections and saying, okay, this amount will go towards this and this amount will go towards that. No, the same exact apples have produced us all of these things. 10 pounds of apples, the same apple making 3 different items. We've got apple juice, applesauce, and these scraps will be turned into apple jelly. Let me show you how. We went apple picking at an orchard here in Interior Alaska, which is an extremely rare opportunity. We only have one apple orchard, and to be honest, I didn't show you the apples, but they're about this big. The biggest we got was maybe this big. Smallest is like this big. They are in fact apples. They had over 50 varieties, and because they're so small, so peeling all of them, we had about 10 pounds, and it was like a 3/4 of a 5-gallon bucket. And there's just a high volume of little ones, right? So peeling all of those was gonna be a nightmare. So what I ended up doing to get the best bang for my buck, because it was not cheap, and no, doing this isn't necessarily saving any money, and honestly, even in the lower 48, are you saving money when you go to the apple orchard? It was my kids' first experience going to the apple orchard though. They've never got to do that. So picking them was pretty cool so that they could see, you know, where their apples come from. Of course they had an idea, but doing it's different. So what I ended up doing to make the best use of it was I simply just cut the core with the help of my mother-in-law and took out the core and then sliced them up into tiny little pieces. Some of them didn't really need slicing. And then in this big stock pot, I put them on the oven and let them boil, and then boil at a very low boil for about 30-40 minutes until they were nice and tender. They were varying degrees of ripeness, so hence a little bit longer, so just keep an eye on it. When they get nice and tender, then you're done. Once I was done with that, I set them into a strainer with layers of cheesecloth. Let me show you. Strainer with layers of cheesecloth. I set everything in here and then set it back on top of my stock pot so that it could drain.